Hey everyone, and welcome to the Mind, Body, Soul Evolution. My name is Debbie, and today we are pulling our tarot cards for the month of April for our Earth signs. So that would be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So I just want to first light up this Palo Santo. Well, this is kind of a large Palo Santo. Using a little Earth energy to clear things out. So our earth signs, right? They can be perceived as, and I'm just fanning off the cards here. They can be perceived as being immovable, maybe a little stubborn, maybe a little slow. But here's the thing. Our earth signs are associated with our root chakra. So if you know anything about the chakra system, that is the foundation. That is your place of survival. So our earth signs are here to make sure everything that we need is covered to survive, right? Food, shelter, stability, finances, clothing. So they can seem to come across as being a little immovable. And lighting an incense as well today. But they're making sure that everything is taken care of. If you see the Four of Pentacles in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, it is a person and they're just kind of holding on to their coins. They're not careless or reckless in any form or fashion. They are very specific. They want to make sure everything is taken care of in their life and in the lives of their loved ones. Let me just put this over here. Maybe we'll put this over here instead. So, we are using the Earth Magic deck. We are using the Ascended Masters deck for two of our oracles. The Midnight Magic Tarot cards. And we are using back to Marianne Williams, the Miracle cards. So let's see for our earth signs. I will do a general reading for all earth signs, and then I will break each one down for us so that you have your each individual little readings. So what does April hold for our earth signs? Because April, at the end of April, we move into our first earth sign. Okay, two cards came out, which is Taurus. And they start us off, right? So let's see what the cards hold for them. How is everyone? You might be able to hear, I have the window open. My neighbor's wind chime is blowing in the wind. The card that came out says crystals, focus. Crystals, very earth element, right? So we're starting off right in our own element for our earth signs. And this is the Ascended Masters deck. I just thought that we should get to a slightly higher level for our earth signs. So we'll pull these over first. We have crystals, focus, and just look at that. It looks like a beautiful amethyst globe, and in the background there's the water and the majestic mountains and the tall pines and the crystal blue sky above. And then we have Isis. Now we pulled Isis yesterday for one of the fire signs. I forget which one it was. I think it was Leo, but I'm not sure. Balance, career, and home. And career and home are very earth things, right? Career is your money. You need money to survive in this world. And your home is the heart of who you are, right? The heart of everything. So let's go into the earth magic and see what this card, crystals, has to say. Now we can maybe figure that out, but let's see what the intention And it says focus. Here we see an amethyst crystal cave bathed in the water from a river, the points of light representing the spiritual force that these crystal beings generate. Amethyst, as well as other types of quartz crystals, have been used for thousands of years in magic and healing, as well as for intensifying, next page, psychic capabilities. Since its violet color is the same as the crown chakra, it has often been referred to as a spiritual stone. The nature of quartz crystals, the second most common element in the Earth's crust, is that they help focus the power of our life, force, or spirit. Where attention goes, power flows. And crystals magnify this power tenfold. Our intention influences where our attention goes. When we are consciously aware of our intention, it facilitates the focus of that spiritual power and supports the manifestation in material reality of that intention. Now it's time to bring your complete focus to the subject of your inquiry. Eliminate all distractions and give this your undivided attention. Very earth energy. And I have a crystal wand here. It's carved out in amethyst. I always have amethyst on my desk when I am reading, because that is my connection to my higher self, my higher consciousness. So let's go into the Ascended Masters. And hold on one second. I just want to move this incense. It seems to have a mind of its own today. And Isis, balance, career, and home life. So she is an Egyptian goddess. So if any of you have any roots in Egypt or any ancestry, I found out when I did my DNA that I do actually have some history there, way back. So it's really kind of interesting to find out the actual lineage of where you're from. Okay, balance, career, and home life. You drew this card as a reminder to keep balance in your life. You can do this more easily than you can imagine. You already know which part of your life is lopsided, and you may be feeling symptoms of burnout from this imbalance. You can rapidly shift your energy in positive ways by devoting time each day to your priorities. Even 30 minutes a day spent in meaningful ways will lift your mood, morale, and motivation. Isis demonstrated a perfectly balanced life as a great spiritual teacher and devoted wife and mother to Osiris and Horus, respectively. Isis is the much revered Egyptian goddess who symbolizes feminine strength and power. She can help you find enough time and energy to enjoy all aspects of your life if you'll just ask for her assistance. So all of these, right? Very, very earth grounding cards to start us off for our earth signs. Crystals straight from the earth and the energy that they emit. So if you find that you're having some difficulty in finding balance in your life, or just concentration or staying focused, get a crystal. It can be, I have my clear quartz here as well. And these are all part of the quartz family. And you don't always have to know what the crystal is doing. Sometimes grounding itself is being tactile. It's being physically, knowing the physicality of where you're at. So notice just physically touching this stone and physically holding it in your hand and feeling that connection between the two is very grounding. You don't have to know all the spiritual aspects of it. You can always research that. But it's just, we overcomplicate things. And our earth signs are about getting back to the nature of things. It's getting rid of the complications and coming back to the basics, which is the groundedness of the earth. So if you're having trouble focusing, and even if you're not an earth sign, right? This applies to all of us. But if you have an earth sign friend, or maybe they're a little withdrawn, right? They can tend to get very withdrawn sometimes when life gets very hectic and chaotic. Just a little crystal. I carry crystals with me everywhere. I have them in my car. I have a different one in my purse. And then I always have them here. And then I have them throughout the house as well. And again, balance, right? Balance your home, balance your career. And your career feeds your home. Your home gives you the energy to go into your career. So maybe your career is something about family. Just something to think about. This is for all of our earth signs. So let's see what the tarot holds for us. And this is the Midnight Magic deck. This is the mushroom deck. And I thought this was just the back of the cards. Almost looks like jellyfish in a way, right? The way the artistry is. It is a beautiful deck to work with. And I wasn't sure about this deck, in all honesty. I got it and I'm like, I don't know. But it wasn't long. And then I said, oh, I really love this deck. I mean, there's some decks that I have that I don't care for, or I don't resonate with, or they're just not my energetic match. But I like this deck. So let's see, for all of our earth signs, what does the tarot hold? What do they need to know for this month of April? As we start to move out of retrograde phase, we start to have a little more freedom in our life, right? The earth starts to break free from the cold of the winter. And the earth is actually what presents us with life, with flowers, with plants, with our vegetation, the things that sustain us, the things that we need, food. And it is the foundation for our shelters, for our homes. It is what we put our feet on when we are barefoot to feel grounded and connected to something beyond ourselves. The star, first card. Card of hope. So this, let's see what else comes out. The star comes right after. We know the tower. So, Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles are associated with the element of earth. So, of course, our earth sign would be pulling out Pentacles. Okay, 2 more cards came out, so we will go with them. Ace of Wands on the bottom. So, let's see. We start off with a major arcana. The star. So some, and like I said at the beginning, earth signs can appear to be a little stubborn. They can get their feet stuck in the mud per se, and it's hard to pull them out. Like if you have a disagreement or falling out with an earth sign, it takes a lot to rebuild that. So there could have been some time where our earth signs have gone through a disruption, or they felt like they've been thrown off balance, right? Balancing career and home life. You've been thrown off balance, like you've lost your footing. But that's only because there's new opportunities coming your way. We have our Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, thoughts, innovations, playfulness, and we have the Eight of Wands, fast movement. Now, our earth signs do not really care for fast movement. But here's the thing. New opportunities for all of our earth signs are coming. And since this starts off with a pentacle, this could be you're moving into a new home. You are changing careers. New money or new ways of making money are coming into you. And you don't have to know exactly what it is, because the Page of Wands, the Page of Swords is coming your way. And the Page of Swords is going to give you inspiration, and you're going to have these thoughts out of nowhere. Like, oh, and probably a little more intuitive than a thought. But our intuition appears as a thought, right? And you're going to go, oh, wait a minute. I can do this or I can do that. Once you get that spark of inspiration, then you allow this Eight of Wands to come in because it will move very quickly. So wherever you have been feeling stuck or imbalanced, if you're going through a phase where you feel uprooted, you just feel like the whole earth underneath of you is pulling apart, it's okay. So I ask you to trust in the process of the universe, of life, of whatever it is that you believe in, a higher calling, because it's just opening the pathway for new experiences, for a new way. Some of you may be moving actually to across the country or to a new, completely new land. And again, the page of the star, the Page of Swords. New inspiration is coming, right? The pages are playful, so they are eager to learn about new things. So whatever this offer is, this opportunity that's coming to you, you're going to have a lot of curiosity and enthusiasm around this. And as that enthusiasm starts to grow, then when the heat starts to pick up and the energy starts to move a little quicker than you would like, you're going to be okay. Because you have excitement, right? Pages are the younger, they are the messengers. They are also the younger spirit or energy of the tarot. They're like the kids, really excited about learning something new or having a new toy or going somewhere they haven't been before. And your card on the root of the deck, Ace of Wands. So a lot of new beginnings for our earth signs, right? Pages are new beginnings. Aces are new beginnings. The star is a new beginning after a disruption or after some type of a breakdown of something. Ace of Wands. Inspiration, excitement, energy. I love this for our earth signs. We will pull a card for the collective of earth from the Marianne Williamson deck, miracle cards. And then we'll go to each individual. So this is starting out really nice and beautiful for all of our earth signs. So don't worry if you're going through something really uncertain. It's fine. It's fine. It's just paving a way for you to move forward into something new and shiny and bright. And we have giving happiness with a sunflower. And, there's a sunflower here, and you have the Ace of Wands, which is, a fiery energy. The sun is fiery energy. And you have the Eight of Wands, a little fiery energy. So a little passion coming your way. And it just says really simply, happiness isn't something you get, it's something you give. So giving joy and happiness to others, whatever we give out, returns to us. So giving happiness and joy to others, or helping them find their path to joy and happiness, will start to open the door for your own happiness. I'm just going to put these back in here. So that is the general reading for our earth signs. So we are going to now go into Taurus, which is our first earth sign, right? The bull, they can be a little bull-headed, but the earth signs are really fabulous because they know that there's things that they don't know, which is why they tend to move a little slower, where signs like fire and air, they don't know what they don't know. And they don't even care that they don't know something. They're just moving ahead, right? Where earth signs, they know that there's something they don't know. They don't know what that thing is, but they know that there are things that they don't know. And they want to find that out before they move ahead. Again, they're about structures and foundations. And they're not, to break down that foundation or to move forward before the foundation is set is not in the earth signs benefit. So our Taurians, right? They are the foundation. They are the absolute root of our chakra system. Our connection to necessity, to survival, right? The root chakra is red in color. It's all about survival. We'll pull out now our Ascended Masters card. The card for Taurus is ocean, ebb and flow. Now, fire, water and earth balance each other. They are the balance of each other. And then fire and air are each other's balance. So let's kind of see what this holds for you, our dear Taurus friends. See the other person's point of view. So let's go into this first. Oceans, ebbs and flows. Now look at, and again, there's an arcing motion. There's either a sunrise or a sunset. We'll see. There's an ocean and it's just kind of flowing in and out. And the water, it's softening the earth. So we pulled the star card for the collective, which means that there was some disruption that happened prior to that, because it's not always what the card is that's being displayed. It's also an understanding of what came before that and what is coming after that. That goes into these readings as well. So if we have been a little stuck, we have to allow some softness to come in. We have to allow ourselves to go with the ebb and flow of life. So let's see what this says for ocean, for our Taurus friends. Okay. So I keep hitting the screen because it keeps fading out on me. Look at that card though. Isn't that just beautiful? And again, the sparkling blue sky, the blue water, looks like mountains. There could be mountains in the background. I don't know. We'll see what this says. The ebb and flow of life is never more clearly represented than in the ocean's movements. The tides of these great bodies of water rise and fall in regular rhythms, and the waves continue to roll to the shores in endless and varied patterns, just as they have been doing for millions of years, and will continue to do so for millions more. These tides and waves maintain a relative predictability unless other unforeseeable forces of nature intervene, which have been known to happen, like hurricanes and earthquakes, for instance, can have a dramatic effect on the characteristics of both the tides and the waves. Oceans cover 70% of the earth, and the human body averages a composition of 70% water. The dynamic gravitational interaction of the sun and the moon that moves these massive bodies of water and creates the shifting tides also affects our human bodies in ways that we respond to instinctually, often having a great deal more influence over our moods and emotional states than we are aware of. So remember though, these are simply emotions, often activated in ways that are completely beyond our understanding. When you neither minimize nor exaggerate the intensity and importance of your emotions, you then have a greater sense of when and how to express them. And emotions, I talked about this, I think it was last week, that emotions are just that. They are not thoughts, they are just emotions. They move in and they move out. So for Taurus, being a little more flexible, surrendering to the natural flow of life. See the other person's point of view. And I can't pronounce this, but I will just show it up here because I'm probably not going to get it right. So, again, seeing the other person's point of view is a form of flexibility. Now, I said a little while ago that our earth signs, they can dig in, and if there is a discord or disagreement, it takes a little while for them to make amends, right? And I don't know if it's about ego or admitting that what their role is in it. I think it's more about that they are feeling hurt, but it comes across as stubbornness. So part of that flexibility is seeing the other person's point of view. You have strong emotions about the situation, and you may feel upset, misunderstood, or used. This card comes to you as a pathway to peace by asking you to consider the other's point of view. You don't need to agree with these other individuals. You're simply asked to understand their motivations and to have compassion for their feelings. This process can positively shift the energy of power struggles, much like letting go of a rope during a tug of war. As you see the other person's point of view, you open the door for creative solutions to enter. So I'm getting the feeling for our Taurian friends that there's an evolution coming. There's a big, and again, I don't necessarily care for the word awakening, but there's a big awareness as how you can move through life to make life easier for yourself and for those around you that you care about. And if there's someone that you don't care about, then they don't really deserve your energy. But you're going through this emotional, maybe spiritual shift, Taurus. And it's hard to soften it and let go. Okay. First card out, judgment. Second card is face down. So cards are ready for you, Taurus. They are saying, here we are. So judgment is not about you being judged or you judging others. And we tend to think that that's what it is. It is releasing the boundaries of judgment that have been holding you back. Again, going with the ebb and flow. A lot of things society has taught us about life are just not true. They're just being told to us or taught to us as a form of control. And as Taurus is an earth sign, sometimes they like that. Not that they like control, but they like the structure of what control brings. Nine of Pentacles is on the root of your deck. Pentacles, again, associated with earth, our earth signs. So we have judgment. There is a breaking free for you, Taurus. And this could associate with the rest of the earth signs as well. Again, we're getting unstuck, as we saw in the star card, right? We are getting unstuck, and we are trusting the process of the ebb and flow of life. We are opening ourselves up to the possibility that maybe we're not always right. Maybe there's another way to see the situation or to handle discord. We are breaking free of whatever has held us back. Now, in the traditional Rider-Waite, the Judgment card is an angel blowing the horn of Zion, and there are people, looks like they're coming out of the graves, but they're being awakened to their higher self, to a different level of themselves. Six of Wands, recognition. Four of Swords. As this shift changes, comes in for you, Taurus, and as you start to feel the emotional pull, although there are no water cards here other than the ebb and flow, it's still going to be an emotional time for you. You can have some emotional sensitivities come up. Once you start to break free of whatever these barriers are, you're going to look at the beauty of that. Right? You're going to be recognized. And again, there's a sunflower here. You already had a sunflower come up. There's a sunflower here. You're going to be recognized. So there may be some type of a promotion coming your way at work. I'm getting now, In the general reading, I got a new job, but I feel like there's a promotion for some of you coming up. Like you've worked really hard. And maybe some of you have not been seen as a team player. And now you're starting to go, oh, wait a minute. Like, I need this. I need to show this different side of me because I feel it in here. Now I'm going to present it outward. And for that, you're going to be recognized for all of your hard work. And this is about your dedication to the process. You may take a moment and pause and think about all this. Take a step back, rest, because some of this energy coming is going to feel fast. But you're moving forward. You know exactly what you want. The Knight of Pentacles is moving forward with energy and a plan. There are great things coming for you, Taurus. I'm excited to see how this month starts to make its way for you in real life, right? So let's pull a card from Marianne Williamson, the Miracles cards. Let's round this reading out for you. And I love this. These are mushrooms, but it actually looks like bread sitting on a table, right? Like a freshly baked loaf of bread. So just saying that if anyone is playing with making their own bread. I did that when my kids were young, growing up. We used to make our own bread all the time. And then every Sunday, I had my mom and my aunts over. And I would make dessert breads. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I'm just saying that looks like loaves of bread. Although it's this white truffle. So if any of you are in the baking industry, or maybe you're moving into the baking industry, just saying all of these, there's all types of signs in these cards. And the card for you is relationships. You see the nest, very earthy, with 2 little eggs in there. It says, as temples of healing, relationships are like a trip to the divine physician's office. How can a doctor help us unless we show him our wounds? Our pneumatic patterns must be revealed before they can be healed. That is what makes the wounds of love, though deeply painful, part of our journey to God. Allowing yourself to be seen for who you are completely, not just for the structure and support that you bring, but for who you are with everything. So Taurus, I hope that has resonated with you. If you have any questions about any of these cards or the reading, feel free to put your questions in the comments and I will respond to you. Let's go to our Virgos. I'm just putting these cards back in the deck. And I always put them like somewhere in the middle. So Virgo. What does April hold for Virgo? Virgos are our planners, right? I say this all the time, I love a Virgo. They have the lists, they have the structure, they have the whole plan. If you say to a Virgo, I want to have a party, they've got the whole thing. You just give them a theme and they have the whole thing, they have the plan, they have the numbers, they are so completely organized. So if you need organization, I say this all the time, if you need a planner in your life, call a Virgo. This is where they thrive. So if you're hiring somebody to organize your home or to organize a room or your finances or to plan an event, personally, I would go with a Virgo. And this is sun, moon, or rising, right? But well, sun and rising. Okay, another water card. Virgo, wake up call. We'll see. We'll see. So just like Taurus, they got the ocean, ebbs and flows, right? You got wake up call. So a little more unsticking, right? A little more softening around the edges, or maybe a little more softening into the center. So maybe there's something, Virgo, that you could benefit from going deeper So this might be an emotional thing. But let's see. Maybe there's something you're not looking at in your life that you should be. Open your heart to love, Jesus. Now, we pulled Jesus yesterday for the fire signs. So tsunami, let's see what this says. So this is a slightly darker card, right? This is a bit of a stormy card that looks like there's a full moon in the background. And we know the full moons and the pull of the waves and the water can get really intense. Hospitals say that there are more babies born on a full moon than any other time. So, and we know emotions, because the moon is full and robust, right? We get anxious, we get very energetic. Sometimes we get illogical. No, I'm going the wrong way. So let's see. Tsunami. So our Virgos, tsunami wake-up call. One of the scariest and more destructive of natural phenomenon, along with volcanoes, earthquakes, hurricanes, and tornadoes, a tsunami occurs when a large volume of water is suddenly and rapidly displaced. It's triggered by an undersea disturbance, typically an earthquake or a volcanic eruption, that causes a series of powerful waves to travel across the ocean at speeds up to 500 miles per hour. Way too fast, right, for our earth signs. Yet, on the open ocean, the height of these waves seems so small as they generally pass unnoticed. As these waves, collectively called a tsunami, get closer to the shoreline, however, their height increases enormously, even as their speed slows to 50 miles per hour. The distance between the waves or the trough can be considered taking 20 to 30 can be considerable, taking 20 to 30 minutes from wave to wave. If this trough hits the land first, the water recedes rapidly and dramatically, followed within minutes by an enormous wave that initially comes as a surge. This receding is a clear sign of an impending tsunami. We can't outrun the wave that follows, but we can avoid being swept up by the destruction by moving to higher ground. Now, this is for Virgo, but for Taurus, if you remember, their first card was the Star card, the card of hope that comes after a dramatic event. So, again, all of these things will, even though it's for each individual, they will all merge in together for each one of you. So let's see. And since water is associated, our water signs are associated with the element of intuition and heart and love and compassion, some of you may be asked to open your hearts. Maybe you've closed your heart off to love because you've been hurt in the past, right? Understandably, I have been hurt in the past, and it takes a lot for me to open that up. So maybe there's some healing on the emotional spectrum for you. Everything you desire and every prayer that you seek comes as a result of opening your heart to both sending and receiving love. Your heart is a gateway of receptivity. It is the answer to every question you have about your love life, relationships, health, life purpose, and so forth. The more you allow yourself to love, the greater depth and meaning your life holds. Jesus and the other ascended masters will support you in this endeavor, ensuring that you're protected and safe as you open your heart to love. Emotional healing coming for our Virgo friends. And it's hard, right? Especially if you've been really hurt. So this tsunami, this wake-up call, can be a big emotional release. And you may find yourself just crying out of nowhere, which is uncharacteristic for you, right? You may find yourself releasing these these emotions that have been buried deep. Why? Because you stuffed down your emotions, and this is just part of the nature. You just stand firm and strong. You put on that brave face, and you stuff them down, and you get on with business at hand. But here's the thing. The more you stuff down something, the more you choose to ignore something that needs to be healed, it eventually will come up. All secrets will eventually be revealed. That's just the nature of life at some point in time. So if you have not healed yourself, if you have not allowed yourself to feel into something, and to feel into some pain that you've received or that someone has been a participant in, it's going to come back. So this is asking you to heal the unhealed aspects of your heart. And in doing so, these cards are not cooperating. And in doing so, you're going to have a bounty of peacefulness and calm and a sense of renewal and faith and trust in yourself and in whatever higher power that you believe in. Okay. 3 cards. 2 up, 1 down. The moon. Okay. What is your root card on the bottom? Page of Wands. Right? Playful energy here. So if some of you have been very, very serious about life, or you have a very serious situation going on, maybe just let the feelings of it pass through. Now this is where someone is sick. Then we put our faith and trust into something higher than ourselves. But if you had a really deep heartbreak, try not to identify emotions are emotions. They are not words. So let's let the emotions be what they are. They will pass through. But if we play them in a loop in our mind with thoughts and words, like, you hurt me, I've been hurt, I feel horrible, I feel sad, I feel broken, I feel lonely, whatever it is. So let's not give a script to the words, to the feelings. Let's not script out the feelings. Let the feelings be what they are as a tsunami, and that they will eventually go back out to sea. Again, we're opening our heart. We have the 10 of Wands, the moon, the Fool. So there's a new beginning coming for you, but 10 of Wands. Some of you have been working very hard to not be seen, or to not feel, or to ignore a situation that has been painful to you. In the traditional Rider-Waite, the 10 of Wands is a person carrying these big wands back to the village or back to their home, but they're the only one doing it. They're working so hard to the point of exhaustion. So again, eventually, if you work yourself to the point, and Taurus had the 4 of Swords, which is taking a rest, right? Taking a moment, not going so quickly, recovering yourself. So some of you have been working very hard to keep love out, or to keep yourself from being fully seen for who you are. Is this resonating with anybody? This is coming in really strong. And if that's the case, you can only do that for so long until you break. And you're not, sometimes the tsunami has to come in to open you up so you can let these things out. Moon reflection. Look at that. And that's so beautiful. And beautiful green, right? And aligned with earth, the earthy green. Reflect. Look at your shadows. Some of this is shadow work for you guys. Shadow work can be scary. I've been on a journey of shadow work for about 1.5 years. the initial couple of months is tough, because you have to take an honest look at things. If you want to do the work. If you don't want to do the work, then you don't have to take an honest look. But you're not helping yourself if you don't take an honest look. And this is the moon, right? These are the things that are hidden underneath. Again, we had the star card for Taurus. So therefore, something was unearthed. There was some type of upheaval, and something was brought to the surface. This is, the secret's coming out. The darkness, sitting in the darkness, is eventually going to fade away. And whatever we are afraid of here is the thing that we need to look at. Because there's a new life waiting for you. Look, and there's a fox. There is, looks like an emu. And there's a bird, there's a fox. And look at the eye on the bird. Like, it's got his eye on the future. There is a full moon right there. This full moon is illuminating, right? We're not sitting in the shadow of the moon anymore. We are allowing ourselves to be illuminated and to be guided out of this. Because the Page of Wands comes along, and there's this like, finally, like a sense of freedom. A sense of doing life your way, or following your own path, if that makes any sense to any of you. Maybe you've been in a very structured path, and structure is great. Structure is great. We need boundaries, we need structure, but we also need freedom and flexibility. Right? Again, with Taurus, it was the ocean, the ebbs and flows. If we're choosing to be inflexible with the ebbs and flows, then it gets stronger. Then the tsunami is coming in, and it is just flowing us to a new place. We realize we've been doing a really big job. We've worked really, really hard to hold ourselves back, or to keep ourselves what we would consider safe. Staying inside of your shadow is only going to create another tsunami. It's going to create stress, tension, anxiety. And this is where these diseases come from. Not facing. We want to bypass things. And that's not how it works. That's so unhealthy. There's a new journey waiting for you. And you know it. Like, Virgo, you know it. You're the planner. And some things, guess what? Like, you can't plan. Let life unfold. Let life surprise you. And maybe you find that there's a new way to do what you're doing, or to live life that's a lot more fun. That's a lot more fun for you. Big awakenings for you, Virgos. Big heart openings. So I feel you. I feel you. So let's see what the miracle cards hold for our Virgo friends. And this is for all of our earth signs, but if you are another sign, this is for earth, sun, moon, and rising. But if you know an earth sign and this sounds familiar, maybe share this with them. Or if this is resonating with you, I would see where these earth signs land in your astrological chart. You can go online, download your chart, and you can look it up. Because it affects us all. Forgiveness. Big one. Look at that. Forgiveness is the choice to see people as they are now. When we're mad at people, we're focusing on something they said or did before this moment. By letting go of the past, we make room for miracles to replace our grievances. Who do you need to forgive? Is it yourself? Is it someone else? And here's the thing. People change. We all change. We're not our 5-year-old selves. We are not our teen selves. We are not our 30-year-old selves, depending on how old you are. We evolve and we grow. This is why I call this page the Mind, Body, Soul Evolution. Every aspect of ourself evolves based on the lessons we have learned in life. If we're learning our lessons. If we're staying stuck and we're avoiding the tsunamis and all the signs and the ebbs and flows, we're going to make a very difficult life for ourselves. But we tend to grow. We tend to learn from our mistakes. You know, if we hurt somebody in the past because we didn't know any better, then we know now. And we can forgive ourselves. And maybe you reach out to that person, or maybe you just energetically send them an apology. An apology and a prayer, and say, you know, divine spirit guides, please send this message to this person. I am so sorry I did not know better. Or I am so sorry that I was too stubborn to do better by them. And thank them for the lesson, right? Because it's all a lesson. Virgo, that is your reading. Capricorn. So the end of our earth signs, the hierarchy of our earth signs. I have a lot of Capricorn energy. My chart has a lot of Capricorn. A lot of things in Capricorn. And I have a lot of Capricorns in my family on my dad's side. Tauruses on my mom's side, a couple of them. But a lot of Capricorn energy on my dad's. My dad's mother was born on January 1st. I mean, really, talk about like absolute Capricorn, right? She was born on January 1st. So, yeah, I had a lot of Capricorn influences in my life. It was a little hard being a fire sign. Like, I'm all fiery and energetic. I don't want any restrictions and boundaries. And Capricorns are like, hold on, wild child. We love you. We get it. You need to take care of this first. So, yeah. Okay, so double helix comes out for our Capricorn friends. Karma, our DNA. I was just talking about family, and the card of DNA, double helix, comes out. And it's all about family. It's all about the lineage. It's all about this life and the lives before and the lives that will come after. And how you connect, and if you allow yourself to feel and receive, or if you shut it down, right? And we have choices. So, it must be I would say that, since I was just talking about my dad's mother, my paternal grandmother, she's with me all the time. She's the one who got me started in yoga as a yoga teacher, and she was already on the other side. It was a whole showdown. But she said, like, I know what I'm doing. Do what I say. And she was absolutely right. So I have no doubt that she is here. Her name is Eva. Flow of prosperity, Lakshmi DNA. So do you see, or do you notice that the progression of the cards? So Taurus is the first earth sign. So that's like the firstborn in the family, right? Like, they don't have a whole lot to go by. There's, other than their parents, there's no one to guide them. So they're kind of going without a whole lot of information. Then we go to the second zone. So this is Virgo. So they have learned from what Taurus has started. All right, and then they start to become a little more diligent in planning. And then we go to Capricorn. And, you know, Capricorn is more, this last set is more of the wisdom of the astrology, right? So we started off really grounded in our Taurus. And then we move into the planning phases of Virgo. And then Capricorns, we get to reap the benefits and the rewards of everything that has been taught to us, all the wisdom we have accumulated from the beginning of the zodiacal wheel into the final phase of the zodiacal wheel. So that's my take. Not too many people, I think, agree with me. this is how it flows to me, and this is how I move. So, exhale, DNA, karma. So the double helix, the snakes, and this is the year of the snake, the wood snake in Chinese astrology. This is the shedding, okay? The ocean came up, the ebbs and flows, and the tsunami, like we need to like shed these things to let in light and love. We have the double helix here with our DNA, and it says, karma, a concept by many Eastern religions, is a Sanskrit word implying the greater universal laws of cause and effect, providing an implied code of ethics within the structure of the seemingly endless cycles of birth, death, and rebirth, which is samsara in Sanskrit, which we experience throughout our lives in many different versions. This mistaken notion about karma is that it's some type of punishment, but it's far from that. In fact, in its purest form, it simply asserts that our conduct in this lifetime will determine our next incarnation. It has also come to mean how our behavior and actions in this lifetime create consequences in a slightly different version of the golden rule. We not only carry our soul's karma into this lifetime, but also embedded in the complex coding of our DNA is our genetic ancestral karma. The double helix structure of DNA contains codes that have been passed down from our parents and grandparents, as well as our ancestors. Therefore, we have some of the same genetic information that comes from the DNA of very early humans. In this card, we see two intertwined serpents as double helixes on either side. Variations of this archetypal image exist in many cultures, both traditional and contemporary. It's a geographic representation of the most ancient ancestry we can lay claim to, our DNA, the fundamental substance of life itself that provides substantial determination of our path. Now, at the very beginning, I said that our earth signs are our root chakra. They are the absolute foundation. And this is kind of what this is talking about. So aspects of your soul entered your primitive physical self long before you had begun to take form. While the DNA that you inherited from your biological parents has a physical component, it also has a soul pattern that came together in the creation of you. You are predisposed to follow the karmic dictates of this patterning to some extent, yet as you evolve in your consciousness and expand the light of awareness, you can make choices that shift and modify this ancestral design. I love it. I just love it. Let's go to Lakshmi. So if you have any questions about that, I want to do a video on the journey of the soul. I did that report or program on that when I did my yoga teacher training. We had to do a program, and I did it on journey of the soul. And I think this is a really good segue for me to put something together for everyone, because we have choices. We make choices when we are born as to the family that we're born into, the lessons that we learn, our gifts, our lessons. We talk about our lessons and our soul contracts with one another. So maybe I will have to do, if you're interested in that, let me know. Flow of prosperity. Again, prosperity, right? Coins, pentacles, all earth related, right? If by the time we get to the Capricorn, we very easily know our self-worth and our value. We allow financial prosperity and abundance to flow to us because we have a responsibility to utilize that, and we know how to make it work for us and to help the world. So Lakshmi, this card indicates that your prayers about finances have been heard and answered. Tap into your manifestation power by focusing on abundance instead of worrying about money. You have nothing to fear. A new flow of prosperity is supporting you and your loved ones. So Lakshmi is the Hindu goddess of prosperity who helps us overcome financial fears and tap into the river of abundance that's available to everyone. And we studied a little bit about Lakshmi when I did my yoga teacher training. Obviously, we leaned into the Hindu and the Hindu goddesses, gods, and deities. So let's go into our tarot. I'm loving this for you, Capricorns, and you are absolutely showing the evolution as we go through the different stages of life. So I love how this is playing out. So what does April holding for Capricorn, right? These life lessons, knowing the foundation of where we came from, carrying our ancestral DNA, our ancestral gifts, and the struggles that our ancestors had. My mom's side had more struggles than my dad's, and I attribute that, although I don't know how true this is, that my mom was first generation American. My dad's side has been here since the late 1600s. So I wonder if there's some type of adaptivity that had to happen. They spoke a different language. My grandparents didn't speak English that well. My grandmother did, eventually. So I just wonder if that has anything to do with it. We have one card down, face down, one card up, Ace of Cups. King of Cups. And our root, Seven of Wands. Eternal light mushroom. Look at that. And it's green for earth. Right? And I chose to wear like a muted green today. Nine of Swords. Oh, you're done. You're done. Again, a lot of our earth signs are coming to the end of a really big cycle. You're done with the intrusive thoughts. You're done with the nightmares. You're done with the things. I said earlier, don't give words or a script to your emotions. Let your emotions be what they are. They are emotions. They are not a script. They are not your thoughts. Don't give thoughts to your emotions. Let them do their thing. They are energy. They will pass through. The more you identify them and then you make them concrete, and then they become part of now your new physical DNA. And then you have stress, tension, anxiety, disease in the body. You have heart disease and everything else that comes along with it. And Capricorn has learned, I am no longer doing that. Like, I am done. These intrusive thoughts, I am not letting them in. They are no longer taking over, because you know what? Ace of Cups and King of Cups. You go from the root of the cups to the highest cup possible. You are allowing. The card we had for Virgo was Jesus, right? Love. You have finally learned. Let love in. Opportunities for love. This is more for self-love. Learning to love yourself unconditionally for who you are, for every experience you've had, whether you were the cause of the experience or whether you added to the drama of the experience or whether it was put upon you. Now, we are not responsible for what other people do to us. And there are things like sexual abuse and this kind of thing. I went through sexual abuse as a child. We are not responsible for what someone else did. Our responsibility, however, lands in our ability to heal ourselves. And when we choose not to, when we choose to sit in the darkness of the emotions and start to give them a script, and then we start to allow that script to become our life, that's when we have problems. And it takes a lot. I'm not saying this is easy by any means. That's why I do shadow work. There's therapy, there's psychology. When we start to step up into our power and say, this happened, and someone did this to me, or whatever it was, you then get to step up and say, but you know what? I'm going to love myself back to life. I'm going to allow myself to feel abundant and love, because we're all loved by the divine creator. And you know what? I am no longer going to do the work for somebody else. I am going to do the work for me. This is a big lesson for our earth signs, right? 7 of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite, there's a person standing there and they're holding onto a wand and they're just exhausted. Of course they are, right? They've been spinning this dialogue in their mind that's not even true. They've been spinning a dialogue based on what other people told them is true. And you're done. You're done. You're done with all of that. You're loving yourself back to life, because everyone deserves to be loved in this world. That means you. You're coming full circle, my beautiful earth friends. This is such a beautiful reading. So thank you for watching, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of your healing journey in this month of April. Let's pull a miracle card for our Capricorn friends. And I want to give a special thank you to my paternal grandmother, Eva, for coming here today, for being part of this. And she is the one who, she came to me in a dream and showed me who in the family got the gift of being able to read, and the gift of intuition and compassion, because not everybody did. So, she has been fueling that and feeding that into me since I was born. And then she continues her journey with me on the other side. So much gratitude to her for showing up for all of our earth signs today. Today's April 2nd. This is the day I'm filming this. Hopefully I will get this published today for you. Let's see. Let's just cut this deck. Oh, okay. This came up yesterday. Interesting stories. And this goes in line with our DNA, with our soul's DNA, with our familial DNA, with the stories that we tell ourselves that are true and the stories that we don't, that we tell ourselves that are not true. But interesting stories. Everyone has an interesting story. If you cultivate the habit of asking about it, your life will be much richer. So what are the stories of your life? The actual true stories, not the script that we give out. The actual true stories. Write your story out. And then read it from an observer of a third person. There's a lot of healing in that. Capricorn, thank you for letting me read for you all our earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, thank you for joining me in today's video. It has been a lot of healing, not only for you, but for the collective as well. Because we all have placements in our chart. So look into your charts. This is for your sun, moon, and rising. See where these aspects lie in your chart. And if you have any questions, if you would like to schedule a personal reading with me, I should have my information in the comments. And until next time, I always send you light and love from my soul to yours. I'll see you again in the next reading, everyone.